Good morning, day 35 of my Heysen walk. I'm just leaving the Wilmington pub, heading towards Horrocks Pass. It's about 7. I've got a bit of a road bash and then I'll be on tracks again for the rest of the day. Well, some kind of tracks anyway. So I might touch base once I get the road bash out of the way. So Wilmington's a quiet place at 7 o'clock on what is it? Thursday morning, I think it is, in winter. It's also chilly. Anyway, I'm glad it's quiet. At least there's not too many cars on the road. Okay, so my road bash up to Horrocks Pass is pretty well done. I'm heading across the road now into those hills. So incidentally, this road, I'm just on top of the pass now, is the main kind of highway between, say, Sydney, Brisbane, anywhere on the east coast north of Melbourne really, and Darwin or Perth or anywhere kind of west or north of Port Augusta. So it can be a fairly busy road. It's not actually too bad this morning, thank God. There is a reasonable shoulder to walk. The Heysen actually bypasses, it winds it through those low hills there. Because I went down to Wilmington, rather than backtrack, I just walked the road. You reckon there's enough arrows on the signpost here? Okay, my heart starter out of corn is almost over. That's the pass down there where that car just flashed by. That's the highest point. That's where the road bash finished. And now I'm on this kind of farm track, management track. I don't know if I'm in farmland or, I guess it is farmland, someone owns it. So I think this is the top here. Yeah, all good. So that is the header. I think it's St Vincent's Golf. I think it was settled on that. And Port Augusta down there. Whale is down to the left of the Gulf on the other side. That's Horrocks Pass down in that gap down there. It's another absolutely magic day weather-wise. I got lucky yesterday too. I think I'm going to be right today. Tomorrow the weather's meant to change a bit. There's a bit of wind coming in. Maybe some late rain. So this is where I'm heading up this four-wheel drive track here. That's Wilmington down there where I've climbed from this morning. Still not that far, does it? And just panning around. Yeah, I'm certainly in the lower Flinders now. Panning around this way. It's Port Augusta once again down there in the Gulf. And then these are the mountains that I'm kind of be weaving my way through as I head towards Goin in a couple of days, I guess. So I'm just following ridges now mostly. Gonna drop down to a tank soon. Oh, another hour and a bit. I'll have some brekkie down there. So my latest update on my shin was I didn't take any painkillers last night. It was a little bit sore in bed with the sheet on it. It wasn't, and the doona on it. It wasn't too bad. But when I got up this morning and tried to put weight on, well, the blood kind of flowed to to my foot, it was agony. But then after a little while, it kind of calmed down. But that transition from laying down to standing up wasn't particularly pleasant. So once again, I've popped a couple of anti-inflammatories. At the moment, it's bearable. I can feel it, but it's not stopping me, obviously. Geez, there's a lot of roos around here. There's a couple in the paddock there beside me. Just had them hopping around. Here, I can see one down in that saddle down there hopping away now. There's a few just hopped to the left here. There's some little wallabies around. So coming from that way, that's Wilmington down there. The valley. I wonder if that higher mountain over there is Mount Remarkable. I suspect it probably is. And they're the hills that I was walking through yesterday. But that could be a feral fact. So when we get rain like this and you get these green shoots, they sometimes call it a green drought. It's not enough to feed the stock. He's still hand feeding all these sheep. But the ground looks green. Well, once again, that's my basic understanding of farming, but I believe that's a thing. So I've just arrived at Hawk's Nest. I'm just having some brekkie here. There's a little bit of water in the tank. It's up to about, now, 1.5 rungs above the tap. So there's not a lot, but there's enough. I filled up a litre. All right, from here on, Katinga Shed. I think I'm on that fence line looking at that sign over there. I don't know if it comes up in the distance. Gee, I'm lucky with the wind today. Well, the walking's been a little bit easier for the last half hour or so. I've been following this kind of farmer's track through his paddocks. Did a fair bit of climbing this morning. A couple of walkers via fence lines were particularly steep. I think I'm about to pull the pin for lunch, so I'm getting a bit hungry. My shin's been good, just starting to get a bit sore. I tripped and tweaked it going up one of the walkers follow fence. Had my foot on an angle, so that hasn't helped. Anyway, might get up on that ridge where those trees are and stop for lunch, I think. I've just come through that, climbed over that gate there. For some reason I found myself on the wrong side of a barbed wire fence. This is the trail up here. I'm not sure where I went wrong, but anyway, lucky I had a look at the map. The problem was I had to get back through the fence somewhere. There was a sign up here. So this is definitely the right way. It's been a little vague through this section in spots. smudge in the distance. It's the Flinders Ranges, I suppose. Well, these are the southern Flinders. So, first Waukarie Creek section of the day. I'm struggling today to get there. I'm gonna roll into camp on dark, I reckon. It's been a lot of climbing today, little climbs, ups and downs. I've been off track a few times. It's a bit vague through here. So the All Trails route doesn't necessarily match up with the markers, and the markers are very sparse anyway. So yeah, I've been mucking around a bit. Anyway, it's all good. I'll get there in the end. Good thing is my leg's kind of hanging in there. Still fucking hurts, but it's not getting any worse. Yeah. So there's a mark. I'm going up the creek by the look of it. All right, that creek bed was quite nice, but I'm leaving it now and climbing up here. I'm not far from Katinga Shed, which is a privately owned shed that you can stay at. You got to pay and you got to book. I haven't done either, so I won't be staying there, but I will probably get some water there on my way through. Because yeah, there's a tank that we're allowed to use apparently. And then after that, I'm going to climb up Mount Brown, I think it is, which is a solid climb, biggest climb since Mount Remarkable, I think. So that'll finish me off in the late afternoon, I guess. Okay, I'm going to go up there. So this is Katinga Shed. It's a privately owned shed you can stay in. If you ring the homestead and book, but there is apparently a tap for through hikers to use somewhere. Okay, did I miss it? Oh, over here. It runs out the pipe down there, and here it is here. Except there's nothing coming out of that. All right, I'll have a bit of a look around, see if there's some water. Okay, the water system is, there's a dead man valve down here, and the tap's down there. So yeah, the tap actually doesn't work. So as soon as you flick the dead man on, the water starts pouring out. So just be careful with that. Okay, I'm into the climb of Mount Brown. That mountain over there, the big one in the middle, it's Mount Remarkable. That's what I climbed yesterday morning. That's the wind farm just outside Port Augusta down there, and the Gulf in the background. However, I'm going up here into the sun. So this is the summit of Mount Brown, just up through those cliffs there. The Heysen's gone all Burke and Wills on me now. One of the rougher sections, no doubt. Nah, I might actually put the camera away before I scramble up there, I reckon. So there's a lookout tower up at Mount Brown. In case you're wondering, there you go. That's what I've been walking through the last few days. It's Wilmington down there, kind of in the middle distance. Where it was last night. I gotta get off this mountain yet. Ooh. Corn. That's corn through the trees there, down in the valley. Can't really see it. It's tomorrow's destination. So I've dropped over the summit of Mount Brown. The climb up Mount Brown, particularly from Katinga Shed, was pretty rough. I think I said it went all Burke and Wills on me. It was probably one of the roughest bits of the Heysen so far. Obviously I've made a normal walk, well, a day walk maybe I'd call it, not a normal walk, a day walk kind of tracks, because the track down this side is very good, well marked, a lot of switchbacks. So yeah, that's good though, because I've got about 6 k's to go to get to where I'm going to camp tonight, and I've got about an hour and a half of daylight, so it's going to be touch and go whether I turn up in the dark tonight. I think doesn't help that it's all downhill too, and my leg doesn't like going down hills, that's for sure. All right, put this away and get walking. So the scenery's definitely ramped up in the last few days. So the sun's just dropping behind the ridge, or I'm dropping down into a valley. Got about 2 k's, maybe a bit less to go to get to camp. So I'm going to get there before it's dark, but it's going to be a touch and go thing, going to be pretty close. I'm not sure about the shelter at this one, so I think there is some kind of a shelter, but whether I'm going to use it or whether I'll camp, I don't know. I'll have a look when I get there. It's going to be a nice night for camping. I think it's going to be cool though, by the feel of it. It looks pretty nice. Okay, it's just on dark. Well, it's not quite, but it's getting there. I'm pulled up at the Waukarie Creek shelter and tank camp. Shelter's pretty primitive, so I'm just about to put the duplex up. I better get going because it's going to get dark very soon. Tank's got water in. Just going to find some flat ground to camp on. All right, all good. I might do some more videoing later on. Well, I'll sign off later anyway. Okay, just had tea here at, I think it's Waukarie Creek. I'm hanging out with just my mates, the mice. There's quite a few mice here tonight, so this is going to be interesting. It's about 7:15. I'm about to jump in the tent. Today was a pretty hard day. 36 k's, 1,300 metres climbing. I had not a lot of trouble. I was never lost, but I think they've marked a new track from the highway there at Horrocks Pass across to Katinga Shed. But they haven't marked it real well. So sometimes I was on the mark track, which was telling me to stay off a fence line sometimes, then I'd just lose the markers, and then Guthooks was telling me to be on the fence line. So I not mucked around, but I was kind of zigzagging, probably added half a K as I kind of, got back on the Guthooks route or the far out route. The walking was, pretty good. Obviously the fence lines are rough. They just go in and out of gullies and they're steep. But if there's a track to follow, you're better off following the track. Mount Brown was really good. The climb up was rugged. from the south side. Climb down the descent down the north side was pretty easy. It's a tourist kind of day walk by the look of it, so that was nice. But it's a long 6Ks down to Waukarie Creek, so keep that in mind. All right, tomorrow I'm into Goin, and then I'm going to have a rest day on Saturday. I need to give this leg a bit of a rest and see how we go. All right, take it easy. See you in the morning.